if you get out from under authority. God puts authority as a shield over you to protect you from the fiery darts of the devil. But when you don't listen to the authority that God puts in your life, you expose yourself to every onslaught that the devil can throw against you, and then you're surprised when you have problems. Would you run to the king and would you get yourself under authority? Would you bow in his presence and say, I submit. I submit to your lordship, Jesus, and I submit to the pastors that you have given me. Now that might not be real popular, but that's what needs to take place. Somebody needs to make a commitment right now that you're going to live 2008 under the pastoral authority of this church. The youth pastor, the children's pastor, the whatever pastor you got. Would somebody raise their hand to God and say yes, 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 yes? If you haven't done it in the last couple of weeks, do not leave here without getting yourself bowed down in the presence of the King. If you're a guest or a friend here tonight, I told you this King has an understanding of not of what you are, but what you can be. And he's here in mercy and in gentleness and love. I promise you, I can't prove this, but I believe that I'm right. I believe I know whose idea it was to go to the king. It was the true mother. She said, let's settle this. Let's go to the king. The careless mother said, sure. Why not? I'll go with you. Notice the true mother didn't try to sell it with a brawl. She didn't say, what's it going to be? Bare knuckles or gloves? Come on, woman. You're going to throw down. You got my baby. And I'm coming after you, woman. That's not what she said. The true mother submitted to kingly authority. You know what'll derail this that God's doing around here? If somebody gets a bare knuckle fighter attitude and they have a conflict or a problem, they don't want to wait for the king to settle the matter. I'll settle this. Well, y'all don't understand what I'm talking about because I can see all your little halos glowing. I forgot who I was talking to. I thought I was in Singapore. I mean, we got folks that are constantly taking matters into their own hands. But we need to get the attitude of this lady and say, you know what, this is too serious for me to try to settle on my own. I got to run to Jesus with this one. I've got to go talk to the pastor about this. This is too important to mess up now. I'm at a critical juncture in my life, and God is blessing me. He's given me a change and a direction. He's elevating me to a new place of hope and expectation, and I'm not going to mess this up with my own willfulness. So she goes before the king. Now notice, comes into the presence of the king. The first thing that happens, it's a shame, I uproot something here. The first thing the king does is reach into his scabbard and he goes, whoosh, and he pulls out a sword. That's why some of you don't want to go to the king. Because I know he carries a sword. You know what it all boils down to? Trust. It all boils down to trust. The first thing that Solomon does is he pulls out this two-edged kingly sword. The look on that mother's face. And without a word, or even without a sword, his words stab right into her heart, because he says, divide the baby. I say it again. Some of us don't want to go to the king because we're afraid of what the king's going to say. It's a trust matter. Do you trust the king? Notice he didn't say, kill the king, kill the kid. He just says divide. But everybody present knew and understood that division is death. CLC, you have come too far. This thing is in your arms. This baby is real. It's alive. It's present. There is something in the atmosphere here that I dare say, I don't know all of your history, but there's something that hasn't been here before. Not on this wise. It is a child of change. And you've got to understand that the only thing that you've got to fear is division. In the midst of this greatness, you are going to have an opportunity. There is going to be something that is going to intersect this. And you're going to have to resist and say, I will not be a part of division. You want to kill this baby? Divide it. Cast doubt. Go, well, I don't know what pastor was thinking when he took up that offering and gave all that money to that missionary. We could have used that money to pay some bills. No, nobody said that I know of. But I can promise you the enemy would like to, he'd like to insert some. Well, I'm sorry. We cannot allow rivalry, enmity, jealousy, suspicion, protectiveness, competition, contentiousness to kill our baby. You can't worry about what sister so-and-so and brother so-and-so are doing and they're not doing. If you're busy with your own baby, if you're having revival in your own house, if you're teaching Bible studies, fasting and praying, you don't have time to be meddling in somebody else's affairs. Would you get your own baby? Would you get your own promise? Would you get your own child and take care of business? I found that saints that aren't involved in evangelism become, what is the word that I'm wanting? Cannibalistic. I mean, we shudder at the thought, no, I would never eat anybody. Oh, yeah, well, then get your teeth off your brother. Did you hear what I heard? Would you get your fangs out of their arm? Would you let go of their jugular? Oh yeah. Saints that aren't busy in baby business start chewing on one another. But you get involved in evangelism, you get a bunch of crying babies, you ain't got time to worry about something else. You got to have a feeding over here and change a diaper over here and teach this baby to walk and this one's learning to ride a bicycle. I really should have quit while I was ahead. Notice the spirit of the other woman. She said, let it not be mine or thine. Some people just don't care. I'd rather see the baby dead than admit I made a mistake.